showing live on here? No, is it showing live here? Alright, so it looks like we are in the fish barn here. Alright, so let me share this out. Alright, give me 1 second here, Mr. Bees. Hold on 1 second. We're going to share that out to Facebook, and so that people know where in the world I'm at. Let me just do one more thing here, and hopefully the others that will find it on the other side. Alright, hold on a second here. Let me find right here. Let's show you. Alright, so we got the new link out to everyone, so hopefully people can file in. I'm going to see if I can get into YouTube and figure out what to do with this. Alright, so there's that. Alright, Maple Street. Yes, hi Mike. Seems everyone's changing their channel names this year. Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about it for a while. Just hadn't gotten there yet. But, hold on. We had some issues with the other stream. So just give me 1 second, and I just want to make sure I can get people back over to this one. So just give me 1 second. Let's see. Sorry about that. Reels Tanks. Yes, hi Reels Tanks. Welcome. Alright. Here. Alright. So. Alright, I think. Yeah. I won't do that. Alright, I won't do that way again. That didn't work. Alright. So, we're here. So, make sure this is on. Alright. Alright, so it looks like everyone's making their way in. So we got about 7 people watching right now. So, there we go. Alright. So, Mr. B is making their way in. Hit the like button. Everyone help this guy out. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. B's. Reels Tanks, hi Maple Street Aquatics, and Mr. B's. How are you two doing? Alright, let's go ahead and so we've got some more folks in here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk about our topic today. One thing was we'll hit on the channel name. So I'd been kind of like mulling it over a little bit to possibly change the channel name. When I had told people the name, they'd go try to put it in their phones and they were having trouble. So that was kind of a sign to me that maybe, you know, the name needed a little bit of work. So that was one thing for me that I thought really kind of made it there. And then someone actually posted on my video, one of my videos, he's like, hey, you should really change your name. It's kind of weird. I was like, okay. So I kind of really got more serious about it. So yeah, it was very so it was kind of obvious, like after seeing, you know, people I even worked with were like how do I do this? And so it just didn't work from like a searchability standpoint. And it was actually a really good exercise in terms of like searching up YouTube and kind of figuring out what your video is going to do. So what I did actually was put in after I did the analytics, the funny thing was the analytics said it was like Mike's Fish Barn was a very good, came up kind of like the highest score. But when I put that in there, there was a lot of fishing videos, because there's a guy out there called Monster Mike who's a fishing channel. So that really kind of made me change my mind to just the Fish Barn at first. And then Corey, actually from Aquarium Co-op, had commented on a thread I had out on Facebook that was basically like, hey, yeah, we're going to put Fish Tank Barn. And I was kind of going back and forth a bit between Fish and Aquarium Barn, and finally kind of settled on the Fish Tank Barn, because it really, you know, in the search, it really put out that element. So that's kind of where it came up to. So it was a really good exercise for me to learn, kind of do a little bit more deeper diving in terms of search and seeing what things come up as. So it was a really good exercise. So let's go ahead and see who else we've got in here. I've got Dan Slees in the house, Daryl Deemer. Welcome, guys. Happy New Year. 54 Punchies here. Hey, Pam, how's it going? Mr. Bees has already been here. It looks like, yep. And let's see if I missed anyone. Yep, one fish, two fishes here now. Yep, glad you found it back. Glad you found it back here. Yeah. What I had done is I'd put it into like live. I did it as a live event instead of the normal way I do it, and I will not do that again. That was sort of a cluster. So we got a bunch of folks here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do the other part of what I was going to show you. There have been some changes up here in the fish barn itself. So I'm going to run the video, and then I'm going to talk. So if you go through here, if you look at the tanks, I picked up 12 new tanks that you just went by. They were like that. And so this is the upstairs. So some of this you've seen already, but the rack is already filled out. So this is going a little fast. So we'll catch it. It's gonna loop. Oh, a fancy streamer. Yeah, I played. So this is the upstairs. So you walk in here. This is where I'm sitting right now. So I got all of those tanks from a local fish store yesterday. And then we're kind of just walking through here, the upstairs section. This is all filled out now. That top tank that we just went by with the plants in it really did have some new fish in it, which is going to be the subject of Thursday's video. DPK liked those tubs. Those are the clownfish rearing tubs. And I'm debating on what I need to do with the clownfish. I'm having some issues in terms of the clownfish and their Dan Lee. Wow, how many tanks have you added in the last few days? Over the break, I finished this rack out, so that's another 3 or 4. The tanks that I have right here, sitting right next to me, are not plumbed in yet. So there'll be 12 more once we get through that. So DPK is here. Hello, Carlos. I think I saw somebody else too. Nope. So yeah, Dan was asking how many tanks. So yesterday I picked up 12 of these acrylic tanks that you see coming by at a local fish store. They've been there for a while, and I was thinking that he might be willing to negotiate a little bit. And I went up to him. I was kind of like, I kind of left, went there, left, and there's a place I go to look at fish. There's 3 fish stores. They're within like a really close driving distance from each other. So I always go to 3, and I always go to the 3 stores, kind of cross shop each other, and then from there really go through and then kind of make a decision. But you know, I went back and I was kind of like, hey, is there any room to negotiate? He's like, nope, they're what they are. I was like, okay. He's like, do you want them? I was like, yeah. I said, at that point, I just took them. But yeah, so they're the Sea Clear. I got 2 sizes of them. These are like I think they're like a 22 gallon, and I think the other ones are close to 40 or so. I don't like the blue, but yeah. So Maple Street, your Detroit area, right? Yes, I'm in Metro Detroit. The place I go to is very. It's about 35-40 minutes away. I used to live in that area, so I really go through and try to make it. Try to go to that area every so often. You know, it's nice to be able to go to 3 stores. They're literally within about 5 miles of each other. So literally, you go down one road and then you can shop all 3 of them. The one I haven't bought at for quite a while. But yeah, it's been pretty good. So we've got 20 people here. That might be a record. Not sure, but I think that is. So thank you guys all for coming out. And one thing I do want to say too is since it is the new year, I want to thank everyone who's come and supported me on this. It's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people kind of in my travels to New Jersey, Chicago, Grand Rapids for the ALA. Along with the people I've already known from the saltwater side who've supported as well. So it's been really a lot of fun. So Elizabeth, let's make the like equal the views. Yes, that'd be really cool. So, all right. So I'm going to show you guys the downstairs now. So let me flip the scene on you guys. All right. So we're now downstairs. So, all right. So we're going down here, and this is the downstairs section of it. And so I took out the goldfish pond here and moved it, and put this island in the center. So you can see there's 2 more of those tanks there. Those are the tanks that have been there, and I got 4 of these cube tanks as well that came along with it. And then the goldfish pond, it needs a light, but it's underneath there. And then the TV kind of moved forward, the couch moved back, and I kind of took out the back wall of the fish barn and kicked it all the way to the back. So that was really, and then these are the last 2 of the tanks there. So Dan Slee's amazing. I'm jealous. Yeah, this is it's been a lot of work. We've got a ton of, it's got a ton of stuff in here for sure. It's getting to the point where I really can't put much else. It's really, I mean, unless I want to start tearing some stuff down, the only thing I could really change is the clownfish barn part of it. The clownfish part, and I could make it like double racks. But since the clownfish are spawning regularly, if you mess them up, like if you change their tank or change their their water or change stuff with them, they're gonna. Did you say TV? Yes, there is a TV. So if you walk through, we'll let the video cycle through here again, but there is a TV in here. If you turn right there, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll sit on the couch that's really not in the picture, and I'll either work on something or we sometimes just watch someone's live stream. Like I'll put on, like a Jeffro, Joel, Corey, whoever. Nope, stop that, left alone. Yeah, Mr. Beast, no, stop that, LOL. Yeah. So that's what and there you go. So there's the garage door. And the front of the barn, it's all insulated and everything. So the garage door doesn't really open anymore. But yeah, so but yeah, so it's very so that's just the basement part. Yeah, I mean I do watch some football and stuff on there too. Then so not really live TV. It's okay to forgive. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I do watch some football on there, but I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I used to. Like I'm not a big shows person or anything like that. So let's go ahead and flip over to the normal scene. Alright, so we're back here to the normal scene. And, alright, so I guess kind of talking a little bit about goals. For next year, I do kind of want to breed some more fish. Actually, maybe put a little bit more effort in it. What is running air to the barn now? It's 1 or 2 big air pumps. I have an Elita 40 upstairs, and I have an Elita 60 downstairs. So I've got 2 pumps going, so that pumps the air to all the tanks. I really do like the linear piston pumps. Coming from saltwater, saltwater doesn't use a lot of air to drive things. A lot of it more is driven by water. Things like calcium reactors and GFO reactors, and those things are really, what's driven there. So Reels tanks, that is what my house is going to look like when my MTS keeps going. Yes, this is multi-tank addiction for sure. Maple Street just picked up an Elita 80. Yes, I haven't gotten that big. I was kind of nervous about seeing if the air pump could pump it upstairs. Lacey's Place is here. Welcome to the chat. And then, excuse me. And then, let me see. Yeah, so like saltwater side, like I was saying, is you really can't run, it doesn't run a lot of air, especially if you're keeping corals. The bubbles really aren't really conducive for corals. One of the things, one of the things is, like with the baffles and the sumps, if you look, you got the baffle like this, and then like that. One of the reasons you do that is to reduce the air bubbles. So, Maple Street Aquatics, hoping to run all of our tanks and a pound outside with the Elite 880. Yes, really, I haven't decided if I'm gonna do fish outside or not. I might just keep it all in here. My daughter wants to put a garden in next year. It's kind of like Joel has. I mean, I won't be that massive, but we will be putting in a garden. So. All right. Any more? You guys have any questions? Any other questions on how it's run, things like that. I do need to do some cord cleanup downstairs, especially a little bit up here too. But it's one of the things, kind of the goals for the year. Any ideas on stocking those new tanks? I've been thinking about that a little bit, actually. Those tanks upstairs. How many tanks total now? Let me answer Dan's first. Yeah, so let me see. Some of it's going to be live bears. I want to do some more rare live bears. So, I mean, one of the kind of like can't miss events for me this next year is going to be the ALA. that was a lot of fun with doing the room sales and things like that. So that was really good. And then downstairs in those big tanks, I've thought about saltwater. One of them is actually going to be saltwater. I'm going to move one of them up here because it only fits 3 across over the goldfish pond. So one of them is going to come up here and go next to the Beaufront tank that's saltwater. And I might see if I can do a breeding pair of like smaller Central Pyge angels in at least one of those. You know, maybe put in some wrasses or something too. See if I get a pair of something to breed. That's kind of where I'm thinking of on those. How many tanks? I think I counted yesterday. All the tanks in here, 47. I think there's 47 in here. I think that's kind of where it's going to stay. But yeah, get out the calculator. No, I did yesterday. I literally sat up here during Jeffro's stream, and it was kind of like, yeah, it's be like, okay, I've got 1, 2, going through the. Someone asked me before, and I couldn't remember. So, Aquarium Cop is here. Yes, hi Aquarium Cop. I think I missed you earlier. I always recycle my water. Goes in the garden. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to do that because the way our house is set up and where the garden theoretically would be, I'd have to go uphill. And that's kind of a problem unless I because right now it just drains out onto the grass. I mean, it's not the best thing, but I guess it kind of is what it is. See, let me see anything else that's yeah. So let me see. Yeah, I'd have to do some sort of like holding tank and a booster pump to do that. So maybe I'll just take some fish water out of some of the tanks. I could do it that way too, and just use the buckets. Do you have water running down that hill already? No, the problem is the fish barn's at the bottom of the sort of, it's not really a hill, but it's our yard is a really irregular shape. It goes, the fish barn is basically at the bottom. So, one of the things, do you drain the salt water onto your lawn? No. The saltwater stuff goes out the back, and there's it's just weeds. So, it's more weeds in the back, and so it's like, if they get a little salt water, it's like, it's kind of, yeah, I'd say it's like a grade. Like, we have a really irregular shaped yard. Like, you can sled down a little piece of it. I mean, not far, obviously, but it's a really, it kind of starts like here, and it just goes kind of like this. So it's just a strange design. So yeah, and the water that comes in here now comes down from the house. But I do have a pump that pumps it, that helps keep it flowing. Just because it's about 70 feet or so from the house. Yeah, I'd have to get another barrel if I was going to do that. I'd have to figure out something. I would have to bury it in the ground somehow and then pump it into the garden. But that's kind of what I've got there in terms of the drain. The drain situation is not ideal, but kind of the best I got, unless I want to spend a whole lot of money. Anyone doing any new aquarium events for the new year? I know there's like a fishy bingo at the locally here. I think I'm going to go to on Saturday. I got to talk to my wife and see if that's a doable event. So I've been going for about it's about 9:40. So I'm sure it took me about 15-20 minutes or so to get this going. Fishy bingo. Yes. What it is basically like you're supposed to bring like 2 or 3 bags of fish, and you get like a bingo card, and then from there you play bingo, and I think you just get to draw if you win like the first bingo, you get your pick of the bag of fish, I guess. I've never been to it before, but definitely I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, as long as there's some, as long as the schedule makes it. Yeah, there's a lot of local clubs here. The saltwater scene's a little bit different, but yeah, the freshwater scene, there's a cichlid club, and there is I think there's even a guppy one too. And then, there's a general one as well called like the Motor City Aquarium Society, I think it is. And then, so 420. Why do you like fish, and what got you interested? Johan is here too, so welcome 420 and Johan. Well, I don't know. I've always just been interested in fish. It's just been, I've always been interested in it. I had them as a kid even. I think it kind of started maybe with fishing. I used to go fishing a lot when I was a kid, and I think I think the two are very correlated. The fishing hobby and then getting into the aquariums. I think there's a big correlation there. So I do still fish some. We'll have to see what happens this year with ice fishing. Yeah, so I've been doing it like real seriously for like 10 years or so, and then from there, just kind of morphed into this. Actually, I'll tell you guys a little story. There's a guy in our local club who is like the saltwater breeding guy, and just so you guys are kind of aware, saltwater is the idea of a fish room is a very different concept. So a fish room to someone in saltwater is where you put your sump, protein skimmer, frag tank, stuff like that. And so I went to see his fish tank, or his fish room, and kind of the story of with a lot of things in life. You walk out and like, oh, I'm never going to do that. And then now I have 40 fish tanks in here, or 47 fish tanks in this building. So yeah, it's cool. You can see some of the fish, which is kind of cool. So I'll kind of tell you guys what's over here. Yeah, I will let you know how the fishy bingo goes for sure. So over here I've got 3 trout goodeids in here. So they are, I've had those since the ALA. Started out with 5, lost a couple of them. I've never gotten them to breed. So I know the female, I think there's at least one female in there. And she has been full of eggs, or fry. I think she eats them. I've never pulled the fry out, or I've never pulled her out to like a separate tank. I may try doing that at some point and see what I can get. And then to this tank over here, it's got some algae on it. There are some Autopharynx tetrastigma. There's a pair of those in there. And then there is a group of 5 Swedish hog-eye cichlids. So they're so those are got 1 male and 4 females. So I did an unboxing of those the other day. So they were pretty good. So this tank's going well. I might put some rainbow fish or something in here to kind of get a little more action in it. But that's really that's what's going on with the 2 tanks. Video's coming out. I'm going to do a more in-depth video, kind of walking through what we just saw in terms of updating the fish barn, showing you guys kind of what fish are in here, what's going on like that. And then Thursday there's a fish unboxing video that's going on. That's going to be here as well. Those fish are next to the trout goodie tank here. So they're very I'm very excited to get those. It's something I didn't think I'd really be able to get a hold of, but looking forward to seeing how those turn out. Select Pet is here. Is out with the family, so can't stay long, but had to leave a thumbs up. Everyone should hit the thumbs up as well. Yes, thank you, Select Pet, for coming by. Yep, understands New Year's Day. We gotta do that thing. We've been kind of quiet. It's been a pretty low key break for us. We went to Indianapolis to see my sister, and then from there really didn't do much else. I guess any other goals? I'm trying to think of any other goals for the year. I do kind of have a subscriber goal maybe, but I really just want to get better at doing the content and stuff like that. I did change from editing on my phone to editing here on the PC. So I did get a new editing program. Switched it to the Filmora Wondershare, which has been good. There's some good templates and stuff in there that you can use to. You got some intros and stuff like that are kind of cool. I'm not going to make them long. And one thing too is I want to make a little bit better effort to watch things from the smaller channels. It'll make some more time to do that. One thing too is I need to get the fish barn kind of done, kind of set for a while and get it kind of in maintenance mode. That would help too to free up some time. So for sure I would. And then I need to learn Photoshop too. I'm gonna do another switch too and do some more Photoshop stuff. The channel art I made for this is okay, but could do a little bit better. And then I don't know, for those of you who are in the Team Green Alliance, Corey posted a bunch of things on there today. Those are really good. I try to do most of those now. The one I know I'm really bad at is pinning comments. And then then the sharing on Facebook thing. So I may share it on my page still on Facebook, just to, it's just because, I guess. So, and then, like I said earlier, kind of breed some more fish and maybe get involved a little bit more in the local saltwater clubs or the freshwater club side of things. I am in the saltwater club. I'm the treasurer, so I do handle that side of things. Do you guys have any goals for the year? We'll leave it out, questions out to the crowd. Still got 12 people here, so thank you guys for sticking around. Yep, Johan read the post. Read Corey's post. Have to study it a bit better. Yeah. What I would recommend, and I need to go back and do it again, is go to his, I think it's just Corey McElroy channel now, and go watch his video. His videos on starting a YouTube channel. Those are really good. And then, you can branch out from there, find the video influencers, Roberto Blakes of the world, and those sort of people too are pretty good. Terry's Tropical Tanks. To get my actual fish tank up and running. Yes, or fish room, sorry. Yes, that'd be cool. I'm kind of in the same boat. I have a lot of it running, but not all of it yet. And then Dan Sleece, participate more in the community. Yes. This is definitely a very good community. A lot of good things going on here. One of the things, too, I kind of compare this to is the running community. I used to run half marathons, and there's a lot of people who are in that community who are very encouraging. Basically, my uncle would go and wait for, all the slower people to finish. He'd go cheer them on and stuff like that. So I kind of see it a lot that way. It's very similar. Anyone else have any other goals? Breed more fish. Start a YouTube channel, even if you're not doing one today. I never thought this would get that far. I'll be honest. The first goal, I kind of had a goal for the end of the year, was to get 100 subscribers. See if I could get 100 subscribers, and I've done that and almost tripled it. So that was very that turned out really cool. So I do, that all has to do with the community. So I really appreciate it. First goal is picking up my 220 this weekend and setting it up. Yes, 220. Is it 220 gallons or 220 liters? Because Gohan, I think, if I remember correctly, you're not in the United States. I could be wrong though. Melvin's here. Hi, Melvin. Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year. Johan is to get some nice videos out. Videos out of the 220. Yes. It's like everyone's saying hi to Melvin. 832 liter, 220 gallon. Okay. Yeah, my liters to gallon conversion is not top of mind. In my day job, I do deal with like pounds, tons, and kilograms, so that I can kind of do those. I can't say I can do them in my head, but yeah, those are kind of the I can't do the liters to gallon so much. So yeah, I've got one thing I did buy too. I did get a new chair. I noticed that I'd be kind of sore after sitting on the other chair. It was like the hard IKEA chair, and so I was like, you know what, I need to get something with some padding in it. So Mr. B's Fishing thinks U.S. gallons. Yes. Is there? I don't know if there's a British gallon. Never thought of that. Yeah. Melvin's, thank you very much and Happy New Year to you. Yep, Happy New Year. Johan is 220 U.S. gallons. You've sparked my curiosity now, so I'm actually going to look. Oh, they're imperial gallons. Okay. Ah, got it. Yep, imperial. Okay, imperial gallons. That makes sense. Once Johan said that, it kind of, oh yeah, imperial. Like I remember hearing it before, just never. It's not something that comes up every so often. Let me see here. Yeah. I know like in tons, there's a metric ton, short ton, and a long ton. They're different numbers. So. Yes, the U.S. is the only country that still uses standard measurements. Yes, we are behind the times. So. I don't think we'll ever change either. I think we're too stuck in our ways or stubborn or whatever to change it to, like I said, I work with stuff that deals with, measurements. One of the things that I deal with. Yeah, so, yep, Canada uses both due to its vicinity. Yep. Yeah, so Detroit area, I don't know, Mr. B, where you're at, but we're very close to, like Detroit borders Windsor, Ontario. So there's a lot of crossing into, back and forth between U.S. and Canada. There's people who work with me that actually, not with me, but in the same building who commute from Canada into work. So, yeah, Canada is a very, very near and dear thing, I guess we'll call it, to this area. She's in New Brunswick. Okay. All right. So, never been to New Brunswick, but I have been to Quebec. I did a road trip to Quebec City, so that's probably the closest I've been. Actually, no, I'm going to take that back. I went to Gander. I took a flight to the UK back in the 90s, and the plane didn't have enough gas. It was a scheduled stop. It didn't have enough gas to make it from Detroit to London, so it had to stop in somewhere called Gander, Newfoundland, which is, I guess, the furthest point if you're heading from the U.S. to the U.K. It's the furthest point east where you can stop. So, yeah, you can stop. So we stopped in this airport in Gander, Newfoundland, and gassed up the plane and took it the rest of the way to the UK. So I have been to Newfoundland. I have not been to New Brunswick though. I would imagine it's a pretty beautiful area. I know Gander was pretty cool, coming in out of the pine trees and everything. That's east of me. We ferried in Newfoundland. Okay. Let's see. You guys have any other questions? We're getting to about 9:55. So we can go for a little while if you want. If you guys have some more questions. I guess for some of the people who came a little later, let me walk through again the kind of the subject. I did show earlier some of the fish barn updates. So let me go through this again real quick. So this is what's been happening in the upstairs. So if you walk close through here, I picked up 12 of these Sea Clear acrylic tanks. And then walking through here, you can see I finished out the back wall here with tanks as well. These are the clownfish breeding setup that's been there. And then these are the tanks. These are the other tanks that have been set up, and I've shown those before. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the kind words. Appreciate it. And Aquarium Cop. So again, we're just going to walk through this area here. And Johan, so yeah, I know some of you guys came a little bit later, so just wanted to let you guys see what was going on. Yeah, so there's been quite a bit of work done up here. This is basically kind of the final layout, and then behind the tanks that are coming up here in just a minute, behind these tanks here is where my desk and where we're streaming from right now. I realized I should have put that into the video. I kind of shot this real quick today. I had a bunch of other things to do. I wanted to find homes for all these tanks that I bought yesterday, so... Alright, I'm going to switch the scene real quick again on you guys. HC Aqua's here. Hi, welcome to the stream. Alright, let's flip it back to the basement, or to the downstairs now. So, originally here there was a goldfish pond that was in the middle here where these tanks are. So there's another, so I built a little island here. So with two of those, more of those Sea Clear tanks. There's a 55 on the other side, and then there's a 40 breeder and a 50 on the front. And then heading towards the back, there's some more. These are the bigger Sea Clear tanks I've got. They're cubes. I think they're probably like 44 gallons or so. I'm gonna have to measure them and see. I didn't get a chance to do that today. And then there's the 40 breeder, and then below that's another 50 gallon. So that's the, and then those are the last two of the Sea Clear tanks. So let's go ahead here and flip through the rest of this again one more time. I can explain it to you again real quick. Johan, the HC Aqua, how was New Year's in Hawaii? I can probably say it was probably a lot warmer than Michigan. Let's see, so we're going through here again. There's the island. There was a goldfish pond here, and that got moved underneath the bigger Sea Clear tanks. That were, excuse me. That we're seeing right now. So the goldfish pond is below there. I need to get a light for it. HC Aqua, it's a fun night as usual. A lot of fireworks. Yeah, we didn't have any fireworks. We had gunshots though. It's really weird. I think I posted on Facebook. I was watching Jeffro's stream and I kind of wandered back into the house. New York Gold's here. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we So I wandered into the house, and it was about it was 12:45 or so at night. Dansley, you should grab some insulation panels for the garage door if you don't open it anymore. Oh, yes, Dan. Should I have a picture of it? Yes, that garage door is actually not in use anymore. So the front of the barn, and let me pull my phone up. We're going to do this very low tech. And then I'll get back to my gunshot story in a second. Let me see here. All right. All right, we just lost the lights. Let me see. Alright, this is the best picture I've got. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera. And I don't know if you can see it, but the front door, there's a wall in front of the garage door. So basically there's an insulated wall that I put in front of the garage door. And so therefore, a lot of PVC. Yes, there's a lot of PVC in there. That's all the, either the auto water change system. Yep, it's already closed off. Yep. So, New York Gold. That's good. Yeah, so that's already all closed off, and then it's got and that the wall's insulated behind the garage door. So, yeah, all the PVC is all the auto water change system, and then the salt water's run on two separate systems. So that's the plumbing for that, and then there's the drains as well. So it's not perfect, but it is what it is. So let me get back to my story real quick about the gunshots. So so I'm kind of wandering in about 12:46 in the morning. You know, make about the the 50-yard walk or so to the back into the house, and I hear somebody shooting guns off at 12:46 in the morning. I'm like, okay, New Year's it's been the New Year now for 45 minutes. I don't know why you feel the need to still shoot the New Year at 45. You know, you shouldn't shoot the New Year anyway, but shooting it 45 minutes after the fact is even worse. So I kind of thought that was super strange. So, yeah, and this is a pretty safe area. So I don't know. I mean, so I don't know. Who knows? People are weird. So, you guys got any further fish questions? And I'll put you guys back on the other scene. People going till 2 in the morning. Yeah. I'm doing so. So Melvin's planning 2019 fish projects. Yes. My goal for next year actually is to do fewer fish projects. I'll do more YouTube projects, but I'm not going to do. My goal is to kind of finish a lot of the fish work, plumbing and stuff like that for a while. I ran into a phase kind of like, I don't know, September, October, where I kind of got burned out of doing setting up fish tanks just because I've been doing it, since March. So, but this has been good now. So it's in a, the fish room is starting to get in a pretty good spot. I just need to get these last 12 tanks done, and we'll be good to go. So there'll be some videos on that for sure. One thing I do want to do next year too is do some more the species profiles, like I did for the Pundamilia nairi. So that's been it's been a lot of fun too. So it's been going for about 50 minutes or so. Do you guys have any other questions or any goals for next year? Anything you guys really plan on doing? For those of you that just came, want to make some better videos on YouTube. Really wanted to get into some more of the editing aspects of it. Really wanted to get it. Going. Anyone else going back to work tomorrow? Tomorrow is the first work day I've had since the 19th of December, so it's been a while. It's been good, but I think it's time to go back. So any plans? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's gonna be tough tomorrow. I slept until like 9:30 this morning, which is like unheard of. So yeah, had to go back yesterday, back again tomorrow. Yeah, we have it pretty good here. We were on. I had a couple of vacation days left, but we were on vacation the Friday before Christmas Eve, and then the Friday before Christmas Eve was kind of the last day of work for the year, and then from there we went forward. Went from there. So you guys don't have any more questions. I think I'm going to shut it down. I got some stuff I got to do before going back in tomorrow. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for the support over the last year, and looking forward to a very good 2019. So we'll take a last call for questions, and from there we'll go ahead and we'll shut it on down. So thank you, Elizabeth, for the kind words. Thank you, Dan. Have a great one, Dan Slee. See you guys all later. So we'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Again, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. So from there, it's been a lot of fun as always, and we'll see you next time.